morning, everyone, and welcome to Think Future. My name's Chris Kalabukas, and once again, we're coming at you live from deep, deep, deep in the heart of Silicon Valley, California. We're talking AI, startups, the future, not necessarily those, and not necessarily in that order. If you're watching on YouTube, smack that subscribe button and hit that bell so you'll be notified when a new show comes online. And if you're listening on your favorite podcast service, please subscribe and drop a note on Apple Podcasts. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Now, let's talk about hurricanes. Now, whether or not you believe in climate change, man-made climate change, it's always useful to be able to try and predict what's about to happen. And in the last week, I've read a number of stories about how people are using, or meteorologists are using AI to assist in the development of more accurate weather models so that they'd be able to predict what's going to happen. They'd be able to predict hurricanes. And in fact, I think the last hurricane, Hurricane Lee, they were able to more accurately predict the path of that hurricane simply because they applied additional generative AI algorithms to the model. Now, a lot of times you hear so many negative things about AI. You hear, oh, negative AI is going to take away jobs, or negative AI is going to sort of eventually destroy us, Terminator style. But we don't hear enough stories about how AI is making our lives better, is helping humanity. And here was a fantastic tale about how AI is helping humanity, how it's better able to predict hurricanes. Now, the biggest problem that I have with this is basically a philosophical one, because we have this perception as human beings that if it happened in the past in a certain way, then there's a good chance that it'll happen in the future in the same way. We use past data to predict the future. And I think that even though a lot of people feel that this is a really good thing, I think it's wrong. And I'll tell you why it's wrong. It's wrong because the fact is that every single moment in time is new. Every single moment in time has really no correlation with any single moment in time before it. Now, we see these patterns as human beings. We have memories. I mean, if we were a goldfish, we wouldn't be able to use the past to predict the future because we don't remember things. 3 seconds, 5 seconds? Goldfish's memories only go back 2 or 3 seconds. So they'll never be able to use the past to predict the future. But what we do as human beings is that we use the past to predict the future. And we feel that if we look at the past, that we will be able to somehow extrapolate the past and see where things are going based on past information, and use that past information to figure out where we're going. And every single time that we've done something like that, we have failed. We might be able to get a general idea of the way things are going, but we can't predict the future based on past information. And I think it's because of this fallacy that we believe that the past informs the future. The past can help us make decisions, but does the past actually predict the future? Can we, in any way, shape, or form, look at the past and say, based on the fact that this series of events occurred in the past, that something similar will occur in the future? And I say, we can't do that. It's not possible. It's not possible because every moment is new. There is no correlation. It's kind of like a coin flip, right? If you think about a coin flip, is that every time you flip a coin, the past coin flips do not affect future coin flips. Just distill it down to that. Distill it down to the lowest common denominator. An event occurs. A yes or no event. It doesn't even need to be a varied event. A yes or no event occurs. Every time a yes or no event occurs, the previous yes or no events that occurred have no effect Literally no effect. And why would they? Why would past events have any effect on events that occur right now? If you flipped a coin over and over and over and over again and over again, that first flip and the 50th flip have nothing to do with each other. So that's how we have to think about the future. We have to think about the future in a way that every single moment is new. Sure, some things will continue on because we, human beings, are creatures of habit. We see patterns in things that may or may not be there. Those patterns might be illusory. We might think that we're seeing a pattern, but there isn't a pattern. We might think we see a pattern with a storm going in a particular direction, or we think we might see a pattern in lottery numbers, or we think we might see a pattern in poker, or in roulette, or we might see a pattern in stocks. We might be looking at stocks that trend up or stocks that trend down. And the reason why they trend up and trend down is that we're looking at past events along the timeline and we're going, this looks like it's going this way, and this looks like it's going that way, but that's a complete fallacy. Every single moment is new. And if you think that every single moment is new, you probably think to yourself, my God, if every single moment is new, then there's no way I can predict anything. And that, my friends, is closer to the truth than anything. We fool ourselves into thinking that the future is going to be this way or that way based on what we've seen in the past. It's more accurate for us to go into the future and work backwards to today and go, what decisions do I need to make from now on to try and get to the future that I'm looking for? As opposed to going back into the past and going, well, I see this trending in this direction or another. Maybe it's going to continue in that direction, but it may just not. So if you can get over the understanding that every moment is new, then it's a completely new way of looking at the future. Because you can't predict if a stock's going to go up or down. You can't predict if a lottery number is going to start. You can't predict heads or tails on a coin. Every moment is new. And if that's the case, how would you live your life if you really took in the fact that every moment was new? How would you change? That's it for me for today. See you next time, and until then, don't forget to think future.